Good afternoon, YouTubers. Excuse me. It is 12:42 on Monday, April 8th, 2013. It is now 64 degrees up here in Northeast Ohio. And we are now on Matthew chapter 5 from the Amplified Bible. Seeing the crowds, he went up to the mountains, and when he was seated, his disciples came to him. 2. Then he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, 3. Blessed, happy, to be envied, and spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, and satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of their outward conditions, are the poor in spirit, the humble who rate themselves insignificant. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed, happy to be envied, and spiritually prosperous, with life that is joy and satisfaction in God's favor. With your salvation and your outward condition, not just your inward, not just with the Holy Spirit inward, but with what you protrude outward. It's not just faith. You have to have works also. You can't just get into heaven by your faith. You have to do stuff for God also. You can't just hold on to that penny and not multiply it. You have to multiply what He gives you, or else you're worthless. 4. Blessed and enviable, happy, with the happiness produced by the experience of God's favor, and especially conditioned by the revelation of His matchless grace, are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. 5. Blessed, happy, blithesome, joyous, spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, and satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of their outward conditions, are the meek, the mild, patient, long-suffering, for they shall inherit the earth. 6. Blessed and fortunate and happy and spiritually prosperous, in the state in which the born-again child of God enjoys His favor and salvation, are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, uprightness, and right standing with God, for they shall be completely satisfied. Are you completely satisfied, or are you still seeking for something? Is there still something that's out there that you can't get yet? 7. Blessed, happy to be envied, and spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of their outward conditions, are the merciful, for they shall attain mercy. Are you merciful? Blessed, number 8, happy, enviable, fortunate, spiritually prosperous, possessing the happiness produced by the experience of God's favor, and especially conditioned by the revelation of His grace, regardless of their outward conditions, are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Is your heart pure? Is there nothing in there but God? Do you hate anybody? If there's even a slight bit of hate, envy, anything that is unpure, that is a little dark, you are not pure in heart. 9. Blessed, enjoying, enviable, happiness, spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, and satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of the outward conditions, are the markers and maintainers of peace. For they shall be called the sons of God. Are you a maker? Sorry, it wasn't marker, it was maker. Are the makers and maintainers of peace. Are you a maker of peace? Do you push for peace or do you push for war? 10. Blessed and happy and enviable, fortunate, and spiritually prosperous in the state in which the born-again child of God enjoys and finds satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of his outward conditions, are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for being and doing right, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. When you see something out there that's wrong, do you stand up for that? When you see these sodomites trying to force their way of living onto the godly Christian way and what God says, are you out there fighting for God? Or are you hiding in the closet now? It's funny. They used to be the ones in the closet. Now it seems like the Christians are being pushed into the closet, doesn't it? Where are our rights as Christians? Where are our freedoms of speech as Christians to stand up for our God? And are you going to stand up for our God? Or are you just going to sit back and continue to let the sodomites continue to have their way? What's next? Bestiality? Multiple marriages? Legally? I think somebody needs to read the Bibles. 11. Blessed, happy, to be envied, and spiritually prosperous, with life, joy, and satisfaction in God's favor and salvation, regardless of your outward conditions. Are you, when people revile you and persecute you and say all kinds of evil things against you falsely on my account, are you ready to stand up for Jesus, even if it means your life being taken from you? Are you going to go hide in the closet where the sodomites belong? 12. Be glad and supremely joyful, for your reward in heaven is great, strong, and intense. For in this same way people persecuted the prophets who were before you. 13. You are the salt of the earth. For if salt has lost its taste, its strength, and its quality, how can its saltness be restored? It is not good for anything any longer, but to be thrown out and trodden underfoot by men. And I was going to make this a part 2 because it's getting long, and I still will, because I am at that point. So I will stop on 13 for right now. What a number to stop on, right? Good thing I like the number 13. It's not unlucky for me. Alright, my brothers and sisters. I shall return with the rest of Matthew chapter 5. Peace be in you. I love you guys. God bless.